Have you ever found yourself thinking, when did my child stop listening to me? You raised them, you sacrificed for them, you stayed up nights worrying about them. And yet now, your words are brushed aside, your advice ignored, your presence taken for granted. If that sounds familiar, you are not alone, and more importantly, you are not powerless. Today, I want to talk about something many parents, especially seniors, experience but rarely say out loud: losing respect from your children. And I want to show you 6 powerful things you can do instead of arguing, begging, or feeling hurt, ways that actually restore respect without damaging the relationship. Let's begin with an important truth. There comes a quiet moment in many parents' lives when they realize something painful. The harder they try to please their children, the less respect they seem to receive. You may say yes when you want to say no. You may apologize even when you've done nothing wrong. You may stay silent just to keep the peace, and slowly, without meaning to, you teach your children that your feelings come second. This is where respect begins to fade. Let me say this clearly and with kindness: chasing approval never creates respect, it weakens it. When children sense that a parent is afraid of being disliked, they stop seeing that parent as an authority and start seeing them as someone to manage or ignore. This doesn't mean your children are bad. It means human nature responds to confidence, not desperation. Reclaiming self-respect does not require anger, punishment, or emotional distance. It begins inside you. It begins the moment you decide that your worth does not depend on your children's moods, opinions, or attention. You raised a family. You lived a life filled with sacrifices, lessons, and strength. That history does not disappear because your children are now adults. Speak from a place of calm certainty. If something hurts you, say it once clearly and without drama. If a request is unreasonable, decline it politely. You do not need long explanations or guilt-filled justifications. A simple, steady response carries far more power than emotional pleading. When you stop chasing approval, something important happens. Your posture changes, your tone changes, your energy changes, and people, especially your children, feel it. They may resist at first because the old pattern is gone, but over time they adjust. Respect quietly returns. Remember this: dignity is not loud, confidence does not argue, self-respect does not beg. When you honor yourself, you give your children permission, whether they realize it or not, to honor you too. You are not here to earn your children's validation. You are here to live with integrity, peace, and self-worth. And when you do that, respect follows naturally. One of the most important reasons respect fades between parents and children is not lack of love, it is lack of boundaries. Many seniors believe that setting boundaries will create distance or conflict, so they tolerate behavior that quietly hurts them. Interruptions, harsh words, being ignored, being spoken to like a child. These moments pile up, and every time they go unaddressed, a silent message is sent: this is acceptable. Over time, respect erodes. Boundaries are not walls. They are not punishments. They are simply clear lines that protect dignity. And the strongest boundaries are not loud or angry, they are calm and steady. When a child speaks disrespectfully, you don't need to raise your voice or list past sacrifices. A calm response such as, "I'm willing to talk, but not in this tone," is enough. If the behavior continues, you disengage peacefully. No drama, no arguing, just consistency. This teaches far more than shouting ever could. Many parents fear that boundaries will push their children away. In reality, boundaries create clarity. They show your children that while love is unconditional, access to you requires respect. Even adult children need to be reminded gently but firmly that their parents are not emotional punching bags. The key is how boundaries are delivered. Anger weakens them, guilt confuses them. Calm confidence strengthens them. When your words are measured and your actions match those words, your children begin to understand that you mean what you say. At first, there may be resistance. This is normal. When patterns change, people test limits. Stay steady. Do not explain repeatedly. Do not retreat out of fear. Respect grows when boundaries are upheld consistently, not occasionally. Clear boundaries also protect your peace. They reduce resentment, emotional exhaustion, and silent suffering. They allow you to show up in the relationship with warmth instead of bitterness, and over time. Children often respond with a surprising shift: more thoughtful words, more patience, more consideration. Remember, boundaries are not about controlling your children. They are about honoring yourself. You are allowed to expect kindness. You are allowed to expect respect. And you are allowed to step back when those expectations are not met. When boundaries are calm, clear, and consistent, respect has room to return and relationships become healthier for everyone involved. Many parents believe that respect is restored by explaining more, by talking longer, repeating lessons, or reminding children of sacrifices made. But often, the opposite is true. The more you talk, the less your words are heard. When explanations turn into lectures and guidance turns into arguments, respect quietly slips away. Speaking less does not mean becoming silent or passive. It means choosing your words carefully and delivering them with intention. Purposeful speech is calm, direct, and limited. It carries weight because it is not wasted. When every small issue becomes a long conversation, children learn that your words have no consequences. They tune out. But when you speak only when it truly matters, your voice becomes important again. A short, clear statement often has more power than a long emotional explanation. Consider this: authority is weakened by over-justification. You do not need to defend every decision or explain every feeling. Saying, "I'm not comfortable with that," or "that doesn't work for me," is complete. Silence after a firm statement is not weakness, it is strength. Purposeful speech also requires timing. Not every moment is the right moment to talk. When emotions are high, words lose their effectiveness. Choosing to pause, breathe, and speak later shows emotional maturity. Children may not say it, but they notice when a parent stays composed instead of reactive. Listening is part of speaking with purpose. When you truly listen, without interrupting or preparing your reply, you model respect, and respect often returns in that space. When your children feel heard, they are more likely to hear you. When you do speak, there is dignity and restraint. Calm confidence does not rush to fill silence. It allows space for reflection. Sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all. Silence, when chosen wisely, communicates boundaries, self-control, and self-respect. Over time, speaking less but with clarity and intention reshapes the relationship. Your children begin to pay attention because your words are no longer predictable noise. They are measured, meaningful, and steady. Remember, your value is not measured by how much you say, but by the wisdom behind it. When you speak with purpose, your words regain strength. And with that strength, respect slowly but surely finds its way back. One of the most difficult lessons for any parent, especially later in life, is accepting that control no longer brings closeness or respect. For years, you guided every step. You corrected mistakes, set rules, and made decisions to protect your children. That role was necessary then, but when children grow into adults, holding tightly to control often creates distance instead of connection. Trying to control adult children usually comes from love and fear, not from ego. You worry they'll make mistakes. You want to save them from pain. You want to feel needed. But control, even when well-intended, sends an unintended message: I don't trust you. And when people feel controlled, they push back or pull away. Respect grows where freedom exists. When you release the need to manage every choice, your children begin to see you not as an authority they must resist, but as a source of wisdom they can choose to approach. That shift is powerful. Letting go does not mean you stop caring or offering guidance. It means you stop insisting. Instead of directing, you suggest. Instead of correcting, you observe. Instead of demanding outcomes, you allow experience to teach lessons that words never could. This can feel uncomfortable at first. Silence may replace frequent conversations. Advice may go unasked. But this space is not rejection, it is transition. And within that space, respect has room to grow. When you stop interfering, your children notice something else too: your confidence. They see a parent who trusts their own life enough not to control someone else's. That quiet strength speaks louder than instructions ever did. Releasing control also protects your peace. It frees you from constant worry, disappointment, and emotional exhaustion. You begin to focus on what you can manage: your reactions, your values, your well-being. And that inner stability becomes visible. Often, something unexpected happens. When pressure disappears, curiosity returns. Children start asking for advice again, not because they must, but because they want to. And advice given by invitation carries far more respect than advice forced upon unwilling ears. Remember, control is rooted in fear, but respect is rooted in trust. Trust says, "I believe you will find your way." Trust says, "I am here when you need me, not hovering over you." Trust restores dignity on both sides. Letting go is not losing influence, it is transforming it. And when influence is grounded in trust rather than control, respect returns naturally and the relationship grows healthier for everyone involved. Many parents ask, "Why don't my children respect me anymore?" without realizing that respect is often learned by observation, not instruction. Long before children listen to what we say, they watch how we live, how we speak, and how we handle disagreement. Even as adults, they are still watching. If you want respect, you must become a living example of it. This does not mean being perfect. It means being consistent. It means showing calm when emotions rise, patience when conversations become difficult, and dignity when others behave poorly. When a parent reacts with shouting, sarcasm, or bitterness, children learn that disrespect is an acceptable response to frustration. But when a parent remains composed, something powerful happens. The tone of the relationship begins to change. Modeling respect starts with how you speak. Speak without insults, disagree without attacking, express disappointment without humiliation. When you do this, you demonstrate emotional strength. Children may not acknowledge it, but they feel it, and over time, they mirror it. Listening is another form of modeling. When you listen without interrupting or dismissing, you show that every voice deserves consideration. This teaches your children how to listen to you in return. Respect grows in spaces where people feel heard. Your behavior during conflict matters more than your words during peace. Staying calm under pressure sends a clear message: I am in control of myself. That self-control commands respect naturally. Authority rooted in composure is far more powerful than authority enforced through fear or guilt. Modeling also means respecting yourself. Do not tolerate repeated disrespect. Do not laugh off hurtful comments to avoid tension. Quietly removing yourself from a disrespectful situation teaches a stronger lesson than any lecture. It shows that dignity has boundaries. Children, no matter their age, learn how to treat you by how you allow yourself to be treated. When you demonstrate self-respect, patience, and calm confidence, you reset the standard of the relationship. This approach takes time. Results are not immediate, but it is deeply effective. Respect built through example is lasting because it is not forced, it is absorbed. Remember, you do not teach respect by demanding it. You teach it by living it. When your actions align with the respect you expect, your children slowly adjust, and what returns is not just better behavior but a healthier, more balanced relationship rooted in mutual dignity.